Now that we have our function for calculating the difference in angles, we can finish the rest of the navigation aid. We're going to need two more variables. One of them is going to keep track of the heading we want to maintain, and that's going to be an integer. And the other is going to be a flag, a Boolean, that is true when we're trying to maintain our heading and false when we're not. It's the on-off switch of the navigation aid. And when the program starts, we're going to set that flag to false. So when we start off, we're not trying to maintain our heading. And we'll give our initial heading a value of 0, just to give it something. Now let's give ourselves a little bit of a user interface. When button A is pressed, that's the left button on the microbit. We'll use that to turn tracking on and off. So what we want to do is, if tracking is false, we want to set it to true. If tracking is true, we want to set it to false. So what we want to do is take the opposite, which in logic is not, of our bool tracking flag. So this just toggles it back and forth. The B button, which is the right button on the face of the microbit, we're going to use that to set the target heading. And we're going to use the compass to set our target heading. And for the sake of completeness, when both buttons are pressed, we're going to trigger a compass calibration. All we have left is the forever loop. And in our forever loop, we're just going to be going over and over. And if we're not tracking, then we're really not doing anything. So the first thing we need to look at is, are we tracking? And if that's false, then let's just put something in the display so that we know this thing is working but not tracking. All right, if we are tracking, then we have a second question we want to ask. Are we within 15 degrees of our target heading? If we are, then we're happy. If we're not, then we want to give the user feedback to that effect. So if the difference between where we're headed and our target heading is more than 15 degrees, then we want to give one kind of feedback. If we're within 15 degrees, we want to give another. And that's where this function comes in. So one of the parameters is going to be the heading that we want to maintain. And the other is going to be our current heading. And if there's more than 15 degrees difference, let's show an unhappy face. And if we're within 15 degrees, we'll show a happy face.